Summertime, så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tra-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for øjen, yeah, yeah. Så bider jeg stille bånd for dig, og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Som nemlig for, du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summertime, så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe.
Hi there, Aquarius. This is your modern shaman Maria in RainbowLand, here with the weekly forecast for the week that starts at the 24th of July and ends at the 31st of July 2018. I'm here in Esbjerg Denmark this time. Came back home from Tokyo, and this is a tall ship race, and it's very interesting. I will continue the report as you can watch the boats around here in the harbor. So this is a very special week. We are having a blood moon. We're having a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius, 4.44 degrees. And the sun, of course, is moving into Leo, and Mars is in conjunction with the... Someone is frightening me about wanting to push me into the water. Mars is almost in conjunction with the moon, enough to call it a conjunction, so this is interesting. We also have a T-square going on between Uranus down there in Taurus, so many things are activated, and of course it's very crucial because it's your sign, right, where we have the South Node and Mars. So a lot of stuff is going on. But not only that, we also have Mercury moving retrograde, and Mercury is moving retrograde in Leo as well. So this is all about your identity, your personal life, and your relationships with others. But it's not only that. Since we also have Taurus activated here, we also have your family, your home life, your personal life involved in it too. And since Uranus is involved, there can be sudden changes and sudden things coming to the surface suddenly. We also have Saturn up there in Capricorn, and this is making an in conjunction, a quincunx to the Sun down there in Leo as well. So this is not a boring week, and not to say the least, as we start the week, we have Venus still in a good sextile to Jupiter in Scorpio, and Venus in opposition to Neptune. This was a long talk about the aspects. Now I'll go directly to what is going on. Things have been changing so much in your personal life and your identity for such a long time. So the question is, can you still enjoy the ride, or are you freaked out to the max to a degree where now people want to throw me in the water? This is person number 5 that tries to indicate that I should go into the water. But I am close to the water though, so it could be tempting for me as well to do so. But okay, the things going on here is that there are definitely opportunities for you in your relationship because and in your personal life, because it's Uranus in your 4th, which is your personal life, and in an aspect to your 7th house. So probably it's partnerships, not just work partnerships, but personal partnerships that can have a revolution. And if you really listen to the signals, and if you dare to let go, because this is going on in the fixed signs, so this means that there's a chance that your stubbornness may be brought to the surface in a way that where you don't dare to let go. Now I'm getting inappropriate here because the wind is taking. I'm actually wearing shorts here in my design. It's one of my newest designs from RainbowLand Walking Out collection. And for some reason, often when I'm sitting out here, on this harbor, I end up being inappropriate in some way. It's not intentional. I just wanted to show the design. But when you sit down, something can show off. Now my dad is coming. Farvel. So now we are gonna shift to the ships, as I will continue to talk, so you can see a little bit of beauty while I continue with the report. So I talked to my dad, and now it's gonna be a voiceover from now. And now the thing is that it's the time for you, as I've said before, with the North Node in your 7th house, and especially now that it's activated by an eclipse this strong. Now we're really having it on the plate that you need to follow what you want. Not just the group, you know. You're put in this world also to take care of the group and make sure that everyone was all right in the group, etc. Now it's time for you to take care of you. What do you want? What do you prefer? How do you want to live your life? But with Mars there, you will have the assertiveness to actually do it. You know, it is retrograding though, so it's looking over something that bugged you, or something that has been activated perhaps by your family, a family situation of some kind, and now you finally have the assertiveness to talk, to speak, to do something about it. Just make sure with Mars that you aren't coming off too aggressive, just reacting. But again, I've said this before: don't react. You can have some disputes with people since it's on your 1st and the 7th house axis. That's other people and relationships in general. So it can actually lead you the way to a more fulfilling life, where you follow your heart and where you follow what you want and follow it, the ideas, the creativity that you always wanted to do, how you always wanted to express yourself, things you didn't dare to do, but now you feel encouraged to do so. Remember to feel into what it is that you want and dare to do it now. Jump into it. Since Uranus is in your 4th house and it's activated again here and now, I just want to put an emphasis upon that you might again consider moving, or you might be forced to move. You might find yourself thinking about another constellation of how your household, your home life, your family life could play itself out in the future. Maybe the neighbors think that you make too much noise, or the people that lives upstairs think that you are too much of a noisy person, or you think that the baby cries too much, or the dog barks, the neighbor's dog barks too loud. One way or the other, you may be thinking about another place to stay. Maybe I even had clients thinking about moving. I actually have a lot of Aquarius clients. I attract these amazing this amazing sign apparently very much in my work life. I mean, my work as an astrologer, and there are several of them actually thinking about moving to another country, but some just aren't satisfied with the whole situation, this may change. But as we also have the sun moving in to Leo, there will be some fire, there will be some sparkles in your relationship life. So even though you have to follow your heart and learn how to manifest yourself in the world, not only caring about the group, it's also, in regards to others, of course. So it is your relationships in general improving to other people, And if you have really been thinking too much about the group, then you may be forced into situations where you have to say no. I know that I'm mentioning this a lot, but it's just, to encourage you to actually feel what you feel. Who are you? What is it that you want? Not in your head, but in your heart. To not figure it out, but to feel into what you're passionate about. So the sun moving in here is going to put a lot of fire upon relationship matters. Focus upon them. The thing is, when we don't think focus enough upon our own needs in relationships, then of course we will be how do you say that in English? Bottling up. I think that's the word. You'll be bottling up things, in Danish, hobe op. But even though Danish is an English, or stems from the same language root, then sometimes I get into trouble. But I think it's called bottling up. there's several things that you've been suppressing things, and they need to come to the surface. And the sun in Leo is gonna help you focus upon your passion. Yeah. And actually, my MC, which means my career life, is in Leo. So someone like me is sitting here expressing myself through my art, through my clothes, the clothes I'm wearing, daring to, shine, even though I sometimes also feel like withdrawing, like, I don't want the attention. That's why I prefer to live in the countryside alone with nature. But my MC, my career life, my professional life is in Leo. And it's actually, I'm a good example of someone daring to jump into following one's heart and do what my heart wants. So I encourage you to do so. I mean, not to jump into an orange outfit with good colors in front. That's not what I'm saying. But of course, finding out what it is that you want. Even like if you're single, because of all the relationship focus, if you're single and you want to find someone, a partner, maybe the Mars in your sign is going to give you the assertiveness, and you'll shine like the sun, with the sun in your 7th house. And you will be given the assertiveness and the daring. Mars is also the adventurer that just throws himself out to it. And Leo is also the risk taker. This all together may make you dare to take that risk and call up that person that you have been looking looking to catch up with, and to perhaps have a little date with, or get together in a romantic way with for a long time. So, I mean, for the next 4 weeks with the sun there in your 7th house, and with Mars also helping you out, you may be able to connect with that special someone you've been looking upon for a long time, and learn to be in a relationship in a more balanced way, because it's definitely you learning to find balance within relationships. Well, Mercury is already in Leo. We've been talking about that, and Mercury is of course more logical, and thinking about things, rationalizing relationship wise. How could we could also, and back and forth mentally. But what I mean about the sun entering and you getting more sparks to it is that you get out of the head and you get into the heart and start moving. The sun is at home in Leo, so it's shining the most brightly here. This week we also still have the repercussions of the Venus-Jupiter in your 8th and 10th house influences from last week, the sextile. And this may see your financial situation still bringing you good fortune through some kind of career thing or something you do out there in the world that brings you good fortune. Other people's money may come to you in one way or the other. Or you just still like to spend them because you have them from last week. Depending on, not always, not everyone has outwardly things manifesting outwardly. Sometimes it's just on the inside level, on a more spiritual level. It doesn't always have to be materialistic. So I'm sorry if you're not one of the ones benefiting in that way. One of the Aquarius is benefiting in that way. But we also have Venus in opposition to Neptune, and Neptune has been for not a whole decade, but getting close to in your 2nd house. I moved in there in 2010, and it has been making you perhaps idealistic in some ways about your money, your finances. Neptune is also known for blurring things up and make you more dreamy, so it could also be that you're more reckless and not reckless, maybe that's not the right word, but just more, thinking that things will go so beautiful in a way financially that of course you can spend money on that big whatever you always dreamt about, because Neptune is the planet of dreams, so what you dream about money-wise. But if you did so, life has probably already taught you the lesson, and you have had to use the more idealistic side of Neptune to change the financial situation. But it's activated through the Neptune-Venus opposition in some way or the other at the beginning of the week. So good luck with that. I may have to end this now because your report is getting really long, longer than everyone else's. So I'll just send you a big hug, Aquarius, and I wish you the best ride for this lunar eclipse, and I hope it all goes well. You can always write me if there's something you want to ask, and also if you just want to tell me how it's going. Big hugs. Don't follow trends, follow your heart.
So this was it for this time, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember, don't follow trends, follow your heart. Your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand checking out. Thank you. See you next week. And this is the marine. Actually, my father is over here. Far, prøv lige vink! Og smil! Vink og smil! I asked him to wave and smile. This is my father. And he used to be on this boat. So he knows it. Oh, it's the police apparently as well. They didn't come to arrest me, fortunately. So, welcome to another week with your modern shaman, Maria and RainbowLand. This time we're in Esbjerg Denmark at the tall ship race, which has been here a few times. So it's not the first time that you will see all these ships. If you stay tuned on the channel, you will see some coverage that I do where you can see the different beautiful old ships, you know, with flags from which countries they come. They're school ships, so they have a lot of young people with them from all over the world coming here to this harbor, staying here for 3 days. But enough about that. If you continue after the program, you will see them. But this is an exciting week, to say the least. This is maybe one of the wildest weeks of the year, of this year, because we have a full moon, but it's not just an ordinary full moon because it's a full lunar eclipse. This one lasts for 1 hour and 23 minutes. That is a lot. It's within 1 degree orb, so it's quite extreme, and this may be the most shifting times that we will feel this year. And it's not like it's in this particular point, and if you've been following the channel, you know that there's been so many changes altogether. We had a partial lunar solar eclipse 2 weeks ago, and we've had so many things going on. So as I have been saying all summer, this is no vacation time because we are forced to change, definitely. And the interesting thing about this eclipse is that it's happening at 4.44 degrees of Aquarius. But I have promised for you guys, to you guys that aren't so familiar with astrology, that I really try to explain what it means when you don't know what the planets mean. Mars is the planet of action. It's our physical, you know, it's our wanting and desiring to do something. It's our self-esteem and, you know, assertive, moving forward, getting things done, etc. But when it's moving backwards, it's not allowed to move forward. So this can cause irritability, you know, and attempts to, you know, suddenly rush out, etc. I've been talking about that for a while, but it will be intensified from now on until the 27th when it actually occurs. It's in a T-square with Uranus, so this can be sudden changes and sudden shifts because Uranus is sudden breakthroughs, it's sudden things happening. I hope the sound is okay. I chose to sit with my headphones, the best ones on, so that I am in control of that the sound doesn't suddenly fall out. The main thing is that this is the collective report. So here I will take the grand overview for all of us, but go into your personal sign and see where this affects you. And know that this is an overall thing. because the changes that are happening in the sign of Aquarius. So it's important to find out what does the sign Aquarius mean to your sign, because this is not like, okay, it's only affecting the Aquarius. It's affecting all of us, but in different areas of our lives. That's why I encourage you to go in and see your personal sun sign afterwards. But this report is important as well. Why is it so important? Well, it's important because if we want to manifest things in our life, we manifest through who we are, through the energy that we are. And you can only manifest through the lowest vibration of whatever you send out from your system. So what do I mean by that? By the way, this is a RainbowLand collection thing again. The orange. Well, couldn't help but say it. I hope I'm decent. I'm actually wearing shorts, so even though I look undecent, that's it. Okay, so imagine this. You can only manifest what you, first of all, of course, really want at a deep core level. But if you have anything blocking this want, something like, let's say that you want to find true love, but you have a coding inside of you saying, I don't deserve true love, because your mom or dad or someone at school bullied you and said, well, you're too stupid for anyone to love you when you were 10 years old. And it's stuck, but you repressed it because it was too hard for you to feel the feelings around it. Then every time you try to manifest this in your life, that it will come back to you, that thing that is programming you, and block it, because that has a lower vibration, it has a lower energy. Because of course, what we manifest is the highest vibration of joy. You know, if you have anything saying in your system or in your coding, in your whole auric field and your whole system, that says, stop anything that has to do with this because I don't deserve this, then that's why that every time you try to build something in regards to this, it will shut down again, because you have this blocking. So why is it so good when we have the lunar eclipse or the solar eclipses or the big shifts happening in astrology? It's chances for us in our schedule to get into contact with these things and remove them. And so sometimes we need to be pressured out until such an extent that we just finally release and surrender and say, F it, I let go of it now, it doesn't matter. And then your ego, which is actually probably based upon fear, trying to protect you in some way, which is a malfunction. It's not supposed to be there anymore. But the minute you are surrendering to life itself and stop fighting or resisting this change and just say, F it, now everything is so shit, bleep, that you might as well just throw it out. That's the minute that the universe can work upon you and let it go. So try to find stability within. You know, if you're searching for stability on the outside, you have to know that you can only manifest on the outside what you have on the inside. So you have to look inwardly, even though our patriarchal society has taught us that everything that can be proven on the outside, that if anyone else can see, is the only really existing thing. For some people it's hard to know, yeah, well, what does she mean by look within? Well, find quiet time, find stillness, find a way to stay in the moment without letting your thoughts take over. The mind is a tool, it's not you. So that's why I'm always opting for meditation or something that can keep you still. It doesn't have to be meditation. I'm always encouraging people to heartfulness because it's for free and there are free volunteers helping you. And that was the best thing for me, but for you it can be something else. But you have to learn to look within if you feel the chaos is too strong, if you feel the abrupt changes are too wild, because Uranus is involved. And you get irritable, but try not to react and try not to lash out too much this week. It's on the 27th, but it's been building since the last eclipse. You will definitely have felt the irritability around you, within you, and try not to take it too personal, because life is mirroring a lot to everyone So you're probably mirroring something to someone else, and they're mirroring something to you. So if they lash out and suddenly, you know, say a lot of things to you, oh, you shouldn't do that, and you feel like, well, this has nothing to do with me, then you're absolutely right. So in that moment, don't go into the fight, because that's what Mars wants. It wants to fight. It wants to be, you know, get its anger out, etc. But try to keep it calm, keep it cool, and not react. Meditate, breathe, take it easy. And if you're afraid because you're like, well, I don't have a plan, I don't know what to do with my life. She's talking about manifesting things that we want, but I don't know what I want, etc. Then don't worry so much about what the plan is. Instead, know that you are the plan. I said that many times before, I know, but I always describe the horoscope as a schedule, as a plan. So there's no need to worry that the plan is not going as it's supposed to. I mean, don't you think that the stars are still having their orbits, cycles as they always did? Nothing has changed since you jumped into your schedule and started this life. It's all good. You have to learn to trust. You know, we've all been programmed to, you can't trust people, oh, you have to be careful, and oh, but that shuts out our hearts. So we need to try to open our hearts and trust this process, trust the process. That's what I would like to say. We wrote the song in 2000. It's a long time ago. Was it 5? I don't remember. It's called Ugly Duckling. You know, we have H.C. Andersen in Denmark, the famous fairy tale writer. He's very good. He wrote Ugly Duckling. And if you didn't read it, do it or read it out loud to your children. It's about a duck, swan, what do you call a swan kid? A baby swan, growing up in a duckling's family, so being different from everyone else, and therefore feeling outside and finding it. I won't tell the rest of the story if you don't already know it. Most people do. But so we made this song. It's very appropriate for this eclipse. It was written through very hard times, and it goes like this. There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again, one day you will break through. What you long for will find you. Through all the hard times. I'm a little afraid to sing out loud because there's so many people here. And I always seem to find a light in your eyes. We fought through sometimes. If it wasn't for the dying glows, we wouldn't feel the fire. When it's really burning, all ugly ducklings turn white. So if you listen to the text, the point is that even through the hard times, there's always a light to find. We choose the glasses that we wear actually in the suitcase over there that you cannot see. I have a pair of pink glasses, heart-shaped for my partner, because we are both Pisces, Mercury. So we always like, oh, seeing this purple, you know, this pink world. And people ask me, how can you be so happy all the time? Well, because I chose that my world has a bright perspective, has a bright light. And it is a matter of perspective and choice. So if you are deep within a hole, try to release whatever's keeping you in the hole. Is it your parents that told you that you can only do this or only do that, and that's why you're in the hole? Or why are you in that hole? Ask that question first, and then trust that the answer will come. Trust is the answer here also a lot. Also, like me, you can see I got fear here, because when I sing that part that says through, I actually have to sing really loud, because that's, but I started to do it, but then the fear in me just came in and held back, so I came with an, you know, like through, and then, you know, my voice. So I'm also still, you know, getting shy. I have a lot of Virgo and Pisces, even though I'm an Aries a lot, and Libra. So I know that we are complex beings that has to overcome things, but sometimes it's also just about doing it. I mean, and also the thing about thinking about what other people think. So it's holding you back. That was also what held me back. It was a good example of that, because what does it matter what they think? I mean, if I had just stared, it would have sounded beautifully, and they would probably have thought that, oh, it sounds beautiful. Instead, they heard me like trying and then getting shy. Well, that's also okay anyways. But just again, remember that, find out if what you walk around saying that you want, that's also the thing this eclipse could also reveal to you, you know, uncover, you know, the highest expression of you. So what is your path? Is it really what you always walk around saying that it is? You know, if you walk around saying that, I'm a professor, and what I want is that everything is in control, and you have to be able to prove everything in this life. Okay, this was an extreme example, but really deep down inside, you know that was just because your father dominated you, or your mother dominated you. I'm getting a lot of father thing this time. We also have the sun moving into Leo, the sun being the masculine energy, by the way. And then, but really deep down inside, you're like, well, this professor thing is actually not really me. Well, I love this thing that I'm studying, but I don't feel like everything has to be in control, because I feel like it's blocking me. Then be true to that, you know. Or if it's like, oh, I should have a big family with 5 kids at least, because you were, and I should be a family mom, but really you're more the independent type that doesn't want that, then, you know, it's also a time where we can break free of such things. These are extreme examples, but it can also be smaller things that you need to look upon. But first, you have to know that every time you feel fear, that's what I did before when I was singing, don't look for comfort or stability or peace on the outside. Look within and find the peace within. Because it's there and you're like, no, I can't find it, I feel panic, okay. So sit with the panic, accept the panic, and then just overcome it. Then go through it and just know, remember my words, that I know the peace is in there. I know the stability is in there. It's just a matter of you. If you, let's say it's in a big room, and in the back of the room we have the peace, but there's some garbage on the way that you need to let go of, then remember that every time you meet the garbage, maybe fear comes up, oh, but there's no peace, but then it's just like you moving further and further towards your higher self, your higher purpose, the highest expression of you, removing the garbage. So try to trust and don't panic when things are changing now, because a lot of things probably are. So the sun is moving into Leo as well, so this is a joyful thing, right? On the 23rd, and we still have the opposition between Venus and Neptune, but I will talk more about these things in the personal sun signs. I won't say all of it here, because then you won't go into the personal sun signs. And you just go into the channel, you can find it there. I could also just leave a link actually to all the personal sun signs in this report, then you can just go down and click into it. I probably forgot something, but I like to, what I've thought about saying, but I like to just trust the process, because that's the whole point of that. I'm actually saying what I was meant to say in this report, because I just stay in the flow. That's where most things are revealed to us, because we are not in control and we are open in another way. Easy for someone with Venus and Mercury in Pisces to say, but not always easy to have Mercury in Pisces, though, must say. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to go into the personal sun signs, and first and foremost, as I always say, don't follow trends, follow your heart. The air here is so amazing.
Next week I'll be at another place in Denmark, a very beautiful place. See you then. Your modern shaman Maria and RainbowLand checking out.
Summertime. Så du er min, og jeg er vild med